I know God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. You can't make a copy, nah. Ain't no denying, creator of the heavens. All my desires be supplied. Portrayed in the physics, wise in the spirit. Angels be mentoring, pay attention and you can hear them. Really fantasize, create reality. Imagination going wild, it's subscription free. Send forth praise to the highest degree. God give me grace, overflow abundantly. Faith's all I need in this world. I pray that God got me. Faith's all I need in this world. I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I pray that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. I grew up like a tree, better yet, like a rose through the concrete, standing out but still stepped on. Extra than the ordinary mentality, clothing by the heavenly. Faith and desire, design and fashion inspired. Peace be multiplied, melodies from the choir. When we ask God, we acquire. When we ask God, we acquire. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. Pain produces lessons. Hope turns to power, and prayer manifests blessings. Pain produces lessons. Hope turns to power, and prayer manifests blessings. Faith's all I need. Faith's all I need in this. Faith's all I need in this world. I know that God got me. Faith's all I need in this world. I know that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I pray that God got me.
You're all I need.
In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know. Faith's all I need. In this world, I know that God got me. Mic check, mic check. Man, if y'all can hear me in the chat, go ahead and put a 1, man. We're going to continue to, vibe before we get to this message right swift. Drew Mills, I see you. Shalom, shalom, family. You know what's going on. Y'all see the title of the video. Y'all see the description. But before we even get there, y'all already know what I love to do, man. We're going to rock out first. So I got another track coming up next. You feel me? I hope everybody feeling so elevated today. If you're not, hey, we definitely gonna get in the vibe to be able to bring that about. So bear with me, family. Bear with me. We're gonna get the stream started real quick. And hey, man, I just gotta be able to spread my sentiments on what I see happening out here. We got to keep ourselves guided. We got to keep ourselves trust and believe. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and one thing that you don't want to become a part of is being someone who can't think for their own, being a NPC. But we're gonna get to it, family. Let's vibe right swift.
Now we're getting old buildings, bro. We're getting a whole building. I got investors and like other people that you know want to be part of us. We're doing. It's not really like it's not just a recording. We're doing a whole media building.
Yeah. Okay. Feeling so elevated, simulated like 2K. We don't play, we just pray. Stimulated, melanated mentality. How you see the whole picture in totality? By just peeping, looking through the peephole. I see through the peephole. I keep it simple. My message, faith and desire, attire so heavenly, divinely fabricated, design designated to inspire. May I require the freshest feeling, have faith and be flyer. So buzz, just been a light year to infinity and beyond. They try to build you through the gates. Cough. I'm taking my mask off, surrounded by the sixth generation of actors. Kevin Hart's, what's the cost? Where's the casting call? Why you so serious? Looking delirious. Who you clowning? I'm just so curious. Yeah. Feeling so elevated, 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 feeling so 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 elevated, feeling so elevated, feeling so feeling so elevated, 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 feeling so elevated. Okay. Yeah. And let me know how y'all feeling in the chat, man. Feeling so elevated. Feeling so. Keep this track interactive, man. So if you're here with me, go ahead and let the people know. Go ahead and let me know how you feeling, man. We gonna vibe out today. I got something on my mind I want to discuss. Be able to in different times, family. Nope. Feeling so elevated, feeling so elevated, feeling so elevated, feeling so elevated, feeling so Feeling so elevated, simulated like 2K. We don't play, we just praise. You feel me? Hey, I appreciate everybody coming through the building today. Hey, man, I gotta get my spirit right. I gotta vibe with y'all. You feel me? Before I tackle this conversation at hand. But y'all already see the title of the video. Are you an NPC? The rise of the reprobate mind, the NPC trend. You feel me? Hey, shout out to everybody rocking with that track right there. Feeling so truth rises. What it do? We in here. Drew Mill said, I'm feeling good, bro. Getting these stretches in before I go to work. Hey, you got to, man. Hey, Marcus said feeling so elevated, All right, man. We gonna get this stream started real soon. Y'all already know, man. I got like an intro production I gotta do before we even get to the meat of the session here. So hey, sit back, relax. When it's time, we're gonna bring forth the information, we're gonna bring forth the observation. So y'all already know I gotta go ahead and hit y'all with the Divine Lee intro. Yeah.
Yeah, they got it bumping.
Why bother lie when the truth is free? Illusions creating distorted reality, manifesting heart's desires, faith that anything is possible, probable. With God, I'm unstoppable. Can't deny denial. Life flowing through, living is a test of subscription, a lifetime trial. Only faith, no fanatics. Pay attention to the antics. Peace over power, panic. Design, planned in fashion. Gado Yeshayahu. Hallelujah. Total Rabbi Yeshua. Great salvation. All praises, all honor, all glory to the Most High. Yeah. Thank you so much for the light. Peace and blessings, my people. Peace and blessings. Hey, man, if I'm coming through loud and clear on y'all land, go ahead and send some fire emojis, prayer hands, put some ones in the chat. Let me know everything coming through nice. So, when any disturbances do happen in this stream, just let me know. Communicate with me, and we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. Man, family. Y'all know, man, it's been a minute since I've been live. And I say it was just on my spirit. I was quickened. You see, it's definitely early in the AM where I had to get up and, man, and with all seriousness, are you an NPC? And to observe what's really going on, the rise of the reprobate mind, the trend that's happening right now. Are you a part of it? Are you just being programmed to behave, to act, to speak a certain way? Do you have any control of your goings to be able to operate independently off of people who sit behind desks, off of people who just obviously don't live your life, but they're telling you what to do? For the most part, I mean, I guess some people need that dependency on others telling them what to do. In all essence, I guess everybody operates off of someone telling them what to do. Your parents, when you go to school, your job. For the people of the cloth, man, the people who over here striving in the faith, we follow rules, statutes, and commandments. So I guess you can probably say that, yeah, we are somewhat following after constructs of someone else. But at the end of the day, when you're supposed to be able to have your own ability, free will, to be able to exercise and communicate in a way that's unique to yourself, what happens when people start following a trend that's showcasing less of a connection to what's around them and more of a involvement of artificial, unnatural experiences. And family, y'all know when I get on the streams, man, I take my time. I do a little research. You know, I try to be as transparent as possible, especially with what I'm dealing with. You know, I ain't perfect. No one in this world is perfect. You wouldn't be here if you're perfect. And so that's going into me saying there's things that I see in my life that I can improve. And also me sharing what I see about what's going on in the world. There are a lot of dangerous things. And for the most part, our minds is the most powerful tool that we have. And when we speak, our words come to life. So when you see people following after a trend where it's like they just doing anything and everything following after, at this point, I don't even know what are you following or what message you're trying to display. But with everything that's going on, it's pretty inconvenient. And so I feel as though with me having my platform, with me being an artist in a way, and I just want to be able to display this to people who may not have the savviness to understand, or just, you know, want to be able to receive the information in a different way, because we all learn differently, you know. So just being able to bring my insight, my creativeness, my uniqueness on this topic, you know, it's a blessing, it's an honor, and I appreciate everybody who's been supporting the platform, who's been just pretty much reaching out to me. And hey, I ain't stopping. And to be able to speak on what's going on in the world and create solutions, that's what we all should be here for, right? And I know, family, I'm gonna get there. We're gonna get into it. I got some things that I want to be able to share with y'all about this wave of what is it? Video making, I guess. But bear with me one more time, family. I just dropped a vibe the other day, and I gotta state this matter, man. I gotta state the matter. Shout out to Cloth Talk on the beat, man. It's early in the morning, so I gotta do my vocal stretching too. You feel me?
I'm so solid. What's the matter?
I'm so solid. State the matter. You feel me? Cloth Talk on the beat.
Fabrics floating magically.
I'm so solid, the foundations. I just stand up on my 2 feet. Be bold in your path, declaring my roots in this world. Creations abundantly. Give unto me the ability to move any mountains before thee. Indeed, increasingly, the power of belief. Unwavering information, testing trials, tribulations, sending forth revelations.
Now as I state the matter,
Hear me out as I speak.
the atom
In evolving molecular sequencing,
the particles vibrating, consciousness oscillating, gases, liquid, man forming
2/3 of our being is not made of what we're seeing. Conversations of MCing. I'm so solid in the matter.
statement solid. What's
State
the
the matter.
Just be solid.
State the matter. You know.
I'm so solid in the matter. Statement solid. What's the matter? Just
Uh-huh.
be solid. State the matter.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Walk by faith and not by sight.
As I look up, I say
Take flight. I'm so solid, but I'm light.
beam me up, Star Trek light, shining star when
When it turns night,
gassed up state, I'm reaching heights. I'm so solid, cold like ice. Keep it fluid, yeah, I'm nice. Don't think twice. That's when those thoughts
will entice.
Stay on course, transcend your vice. Trusting Yah, the Lord survive. Commands and statutes are concise. Prosper not wicked device. I ask the Most High for advice. State the matter and recite. It's the physical, three-dimensional, environmental simulation. Simulated prayers penetrated. Cosmic chemical attentional. Peace plentiful, pastures plentiful. As I seek the centerfold, the most I come in story told. So as I look, I just see hope. I'm so solid in the matter, statement solid. What's the matter? Just be solid, state the matter.
You know?
I'm so solid in the matter, statement solid. What's the matter? Just be solid.
Fabrics floating magically. I'm so solid, the foundations. I just stand up on my 2 feet, be bold in your path, declaring my roots in this world. Creations abundantly, divinely give unto me the ability to stay solid in the matter.
I'm so solid
You
in
know?
the matter. Statement solid. What's the matter?
Hey.
Just be solid, state the matter.
Okay. I feel like that track go hand in hand on what's really transpiring out here in the world. I had one verse in the track where I said, "Hear me out as I speak, the atom and evolving, molecular sequencing, the particles vibrating, consciousness consolidating, gaseous liquid, man forming, 2/3 of our being is not made of what we're seeing." If you comprehending what I'm saying in the spirit, when we look at one another, do you just take us as physical matter? And what they try to tell us in science class, oh, you're made of 2/3 of water. So what's inside you isn't solid. And as I was doing the wordplay on the track, and as I'm observing life, I wanted to bring my artistry in a way where, people can learn from it. People can have a conversation from it. People can increase their intellect to be able to observe and be aware of what's going on in this day and time and age. Prosper not wicked device. And what did I mean by that? Pretty much there are a lot of instruments around in our world where it creates inconveniences on how we communicate, how we connect. Ultimately, the growth and formulation of a community where you have these things set up that cause destruction, cause confusion. To say, man, I'm striving in this world every day to maintain in a world where it seems to uplift the reprobate mind is highly deterring to want to be a person who speaks with intellect, because at the end of the day, people get offended. People get offended when you talk smart, but people are more acceptable if you're like dumbed down. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing right now with this trend, with this NPC thing. And my question to everybody in the chat, my question to everybody watching this on playback, are you an NPC? And what does an NPC even mean? And so I'm using this stream today to open up that communication, to further give some information on what I believe an NPC is and how it affects the community and everybody around us. Move in silence. I see you in the building. I see you. Man, truth rises. And that's pretty much what we're getting into. People are bots. It's sad. True Rises said, that's why I wear my Revelations 5 and 5 t-shirt in public. Because if they see the glow or shine through this warfare, I wear that to let them know that I know who I am. And best believe that's where the information and observation and being able to behave accordingly goes hand in hand with a community and coming together to create something instead of destroying. If you know who you are in this world, then you have a purpose. You know what you're supposed to do. An NPC, however, they don't have any recollection of who they are, what they're here to do. When you're playing a video game, right? The NPCs are the characters pretty much that are just in the game. They're not the ones going out doing the quests. They're the ones that you interact with that are programmed to be able to give you certain responses. They don't have any control over what they do. They are just controlled by the system writer to be able to behave a certain way. And at this point in time, you see many people out here just behaving in a way that is like a herd mentality. It's groupthink. They don't have any uniqueness on how they speak. They don't have any objective. They don't have any purpose besides doing whatever the system program writers tell them what to do. And as you guys can see, this can be a dangerous situation, because if the program writers are corrupt, guess what they're going to do? They're going to make corruptible written programs that lead to confusion, that lead to destruction, that lead to all these problems. And now we're looking at the world and we're looking at people herding up, walking together, falling off a cliff because they don't know any better. Metaphorically speaking, people are falling off a cliff right now. Their minds are going array, where it's like, hold on. What do you mean that you can get online and act like a cartoon and receive revenue from that? You will honestly be able to make a living by showcasing yourself of some type of cartoon buffoon, and a buffoon in my eyes, because at the end of the day, that's what you're displaying. And if you're displaying something, then that's who you are. And when in the world do we ever start rewarding people for clownery? And then what does that say to the next generation? What does that say to the people that's coming up after us? Oh, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to learn a skill. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be anything that helps build a nation. You can just act like a clown. Can't you guys see my frustration? Can't you see why this is a problem? And if no one's speaking about it, and if we keep on rewarding these individuals for displaying this behavior, it's going to be a never-ending cycle of individuals who don't know how to think for themselves, because they're just going to do what's trendy in order to make a living. And obviously what's going on in the trends in this day and time is very detrimental, not just to the immediate environment, but with the connection that the internet has. You're touching millions of lives. And do people ever think about the influence that they have to say, is this what I want to see the future to become? When you think about somebody who has influence, or someone who has connection to be able to make people behave a certain way, and that's what influencers are. They have the ability or connections to make a certain group of individuals behave a certain way, purchase a product, speak a certain way. And when you have that ability, there becomes a great responsibility, because you can lead those people to either the promised land, success, or you can lead these people to hell, to destruction, to mental insanity. And so, family, I just wanted to break down this trend of being an NPC, what it means to me, and just being able to add my observation. And y'all already know what I love to do on this channel, man. I love to break things down just so that not only I can have an understanding, but the people that I'm communicating with, watching this on playback, everybody in the live, can be able to get some type of comprehension with me. So we're going to go ahead and get there. And we keeping this chat interactive too, man. So if y'all got anything y'all want to input, hey, this is an open communication. This is a growing process.
This is not me just stating facts. No, we are communicating. This is a natural process taking place. This is not just me on live speaking to people that I don't know or that I don't have a connection to. This is me actually trying to get some understanding. This is me taking a role in action where I'm not an NPC. I'm communicating genuinely. So if y'all got any insights y'all want to put in the chat, hey, we gonna connect. We're gonna have this conversation. Drew Mills said, honestly, fam, I think that's the whole point. If they can't think for themselves, then they're dependent on someone to think for them. And that's the enemy's goal. Sheesh. And when you really look at it, the vast majority of people, 90%, matter of fact, I'm gonna push it up to 95%, cannot think for themselves. And in terms of being able to make a decision on, should I take this serum, even though I'm feeling healthy, even though nothing's wrong with me? Should I take this serum because everybody else is telling me to? But if you're not showing any signs of you being sick, why would you need the medicine? And that was one thing that pretty much showed me right there. Not many people think for themselves. They're just doing what someone else telling them to do. They're depending on someone else to tell them how their health is. You should know how your own health is by when you get up in the morning. Can you breathe straight? Can you stretch? Can you run? Can you say that you're moving through life easily? That should determine your health. To say that people can't even determine their own mental health or even physical health at this point is very disturbing, because now you're dependent on someone else to tell you how you feel. You're dependent on a system. You're dependent on a program to tell you, hey, you feel this way, you should get this. At that point, you have no control over your body. At that point, you have no control over your mind. You have no control over your vessel. Your spirit has been compromised. And that's what I see within this NPC trend. Are you an NPC? And what does it even mean? I'm saying this word NPC, but honestly, am I talking to people who even know what that means? And for myself, I had to get a better understanding. So hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna bring it up. I researched it, and after extensive Google typing, I was able to see, somewhat of a definition on this NPC, which is short for non-playable character. And in slang terms, it just means a person with no ability to think for themselves, quote unquote sheeple. You see these people walking around, and obviously when you try to talk to them, they can't even form a conversation because no one's whispering in their ear, or they don't have the words to be able to formulate anything genuine back to you because they've never met someone who can have a conversation based off their own integrity. And then when you hit them with a question that they have never ever thought of responding before, it's like they don't have the mental capacity to be able to complete a phrase back to you without going through some form of dysfunction within their mind. It's like it gets frustrating to see not many people have a genuine set of thoughts to be able to communicate effectively. Many people are just regurgitating what they heard from others, and literally they can't even tell you how they feel. That's why I had to go ahead and vibe with y'all in the beginning of the stream, because like this is me showcasing my genuineness, expressing how I feel, because ultimately no one else can tell me how I feel. And that should be a basic right there. That should be something that you should be able to elaborate with no problem. If you can't tell anyone how you're feeling, obviously there seems to be some misunderstanding within your mind going on. There's some confusion going on where if you're feeling multiple ways, if you have all these type of anxiety and depression, and you're sad and you're mad and you're happy, that's very inconvenient. if you don't have control over your emotions, if you don't have control over the way that you behave, trust and believe that is very inconvenient on trying to live a life that's independent, that's trying to live a life that's genuine, that's trying to even operate, because you're feeling all these different types of ways and you don't know which way to go. You don't know what to speak. You could be speaking from someone who thinks they're angry. You can be speaking from someone who thinks they're happy. You can be speaking from someone who is nervous. Like, first and foremost, when I communicate with somebody, I start off the conversation on, hey, how do you feel? Just to know if I'm speaking to a person that's in a mindset to be able to elaborate effectively and communicate. Not many people have that ability. And it's sad to see that you have these people who have to be told what to feel, who have to be told how to speak, which in turn are these NPCs, non-playable characters, a person with no ability to think for themselves. Question to the chat. I ain't seen nobody answer yet. What's up? We keeping this interactive. Are you an NPC? Does somebody need to tell you how you feel? Does somebody need to tell you which way to go, how to behave? I don't want to be over here talking to these bots. True Fry just said, I literally live with a roommate from time to time, and he says I'm already dead, shaking my head. And honestly, that's what it be like on the inside for these people who have no control. They're just a vessel at that point. They're just bots. They're empty. They have no expression. And that's really sad. And in all essence, that's someone who has a mind that's reprobated. But how many people can really sit back and observe that to be able to analyze it righteously? And so I wanted to get into it, family. I know y'all probably been hearing about it a little, where it's this TikToker. And come on now, let's keep it real. If you have a TikTok and all you're doing is watching TikTok videos, how constructive is that for your mind? What are you learning? What are you entertaining? And right now in this day and age, people entertain the most foolish things, where it's like your eyes are the gateway to your soul. Whatever you constantly view, that's what's going to be what you portray. So right now in this day and age, people are viewing other people who lack the ability to engage naturally and are just online. I mean, their sole purpose is probably to make money. And we're in weird times right now where making money or creating revenue for yourself is not always the smartest people. It's not always the most skilled people. It's not always the most talented people who make money. But it seems as though a lot of people who have these deficiencies are supported. Where, hey, babies are smart. Majority of people, you think they are smart, but at this point in day and age, I feel like babies are smarter than adults. They know what they want. They know how they feel. I mean, of course, they can't always communicate it, but they will show it. You have some people who will hide how they feel. Why? Why can't you express how you feel just like a baby? Is there some disconnect going on in your mind to be able to behave and be able to elaborate, given that you have the tools and means of communication? But check this out, family. And this is where my discomfort comes in. This is where my disgust comes in. TikTok article on Forbes. This lady got an article on Forbes, family. If you know anything about Forbes, it's pretty much a site where it advertises people who, have a very wealthy lifestyle. You mean to tell me right now you can have a very wealthy lifestyle by being a TikToker of portraying someone of an NPC? So the title of this article is TikTok's NPC Ice Cream So Good Meme Explained. The things people take the time to write about. But with all due honesty, I feel like this is something that needs to be discussed. Because why? So there's a TikTok creator by the name of Pinky Doll who recently blew up on Twitter after her clips of seemingly random catchphrases and cartoonish movements, and it baffled commentators. So we're living in a weird world right now where you can get online and I could just be telling y'all some catchphrases over and over and over and over again without any real communication taking place, and I can act all cartoonish. I can exaggerate my very essence to something that's not even real of my genuine self, and people will support that. People will be like, you know what, this person deserves my money because I just love what they're doing. That's why this lady is on Forbes right now, because people love what she's doing. They over here saying that she's growing so fast, the kids are loving her. And here's a cool, insightful post that someone else made about these kids going to university and grad school. Why even do it? If you can still make the same money as being a doctor, doing years and years and years of extensive practice and research to be able to get the knowledge to perform these life-changing tasks. Why do that when you could do something as easy as buying a $200 phone, looking up on Google or Twitter some catchphrases that people love to hear, or just saying anything that comes to your mind without no relevance of communication, and then you can become quote unquote famous. You can become rich off of this, basically. So I don't know how, but she did gain some attention. Everybody's over here talking about, oh man, this is a new wave of entertainment. Why are people entertained by this? And as I said, you really, your eyes are the portal to your soul. What you look at, what's entertaining you is basically how you feel or what you relate to. When people sit back and watch a show, that's something that they can relate to. That's something that they take entertainment off of. They're satisfied to be able to sit back and look at this. Why are people so satisfied sitting back and looking at this? This is, in my opinion, disgusting. So what is the TikTok NPC trend? The NPC stands for non-playable character. In a video game, think of the chatty pedestrians of Grand Theft Auto or the glitchy shopkeepers in Agartha's Skyrim. These computer-controlled characters are meant to imbue video game worlds with the illusion of life, of bustling cityscapes and medieval marketplace, but their repetitive animation cycles and limited dialogue often leads to unintended hilarity. At this point, people are just being clowns in a simulated world where you have a bunch of people just walking around repeating the same thing over and over and over again in a cycle, and that has no dialogue to be able to expand on what's going on and observing in the world, to be able to have a connection to anything other than a device. Make it make sense. Man, hey, Truth Riser said, I feel like I have so many talents, but I'm still stuck at these 9 to 5, shaking my head. That's why I try to be interactive and tap in with the bros. Hey, we all do. And at this point, we gotta strive twice as much, 3 times as much, especially working a 9 to 5. And I already know how I feel because that's why y'all ain't seen me on the live, being able to make music, being able to make content, being able to make the designs and the fashion. Because hey, that 9 to 5 definitely be taking over your hours, man. Where it'd be like we have all these gifts and talents, but you got other people who obviously have the time to share what, and it's like, hey, at this point, brother, you got to make the time for real. Drew Mill said, I am definitely not an NPC. I'm a narrow path driven, Holy Spirit filled, set apart son of the Most High. And it's our honor and a privilege. Amen. Amen to that. But at the end of the day, how can you hate on somebody who's, I guess, being them? But we need to know the difference between what's right and what's wrong, what's natural, unnatural. And to be able to observe this and be like, hey, why are we supporting that over people who actually have talents and abilities? Because now you're saying to the children that's growing up, hey, this is how you can make a living. This is how you can survive in this world by just being somebody's entertainment. And let's really get down to the scope of things. We're living in a world right now where entertainment has been put at the top. We've taken care of all our needs, where now it's just like, I need to be entertained. Think about living in a world where there's no houses, there's no grocery stores, there's no telephones. You think you're going to be thinking about entertainment? And so now I'm correlating this to the function of behaviors. And within my given realm of the field that I work in, I analyze behaviors. I look at why people behave in a certain way. And so there are pretty much 4 functions of why people behave or why they do the things that they do. Like, say a kid is crying, there's a function behind why they're crying. You can analyze that in the form of this acronym 5C, the function of behavior. There are 4 for someone to be filled with some type of sensory indulging, to escape a certain task, for attention, or for something tangible. And I'm gonna just bring up a visual just so y'all can see what I'm talking about over here, so we can be able to elaborate on this a little bit more. But you have people out here who are behaving a certain way, and it's like, what is the function of it? Why are they doing it? And I feel like we definitely have to break that down. So sensory, which means providing stimulation to the pleasure, a zone in the brain where it makes people feel good. I guess doing these TikToks for this person makes this person feel good. She likes to get online and say these catchphrases. And obviously, are we analyzing why she's behaving this way? No. But over here, I want to be able to break it down and give some sense, give a different spectrum, give a different outlook of what's really going on. And another function of behavior can be escape. And that pretty much is removing undesired activities or interactions or situations. Could she be trying to escape what's going on in her daily life by behaving this way? What's really going on that she's not able to elaborate in her surroundings to be able to cope with it? So she goes online saying these catchphrases, acting like a cartoon to escape the undesired environment that she's in. Does she need some attention? Let's be real. A lot of people pick up this phone, pick up that camera, and start doing whatever for some attention. And that's pretty much one of the main functions of why people behave the way that they do, because they just simply want some attention. They simply want somebody to look at them. And provide awareness. They want an interaction. Or you got people who just want something. They want something tangible. They want an item. They want money. They want money so they can go and travel. They want money so that they can buy food. They want money so that they can indulge in their vices. So when I'm looking at this shorty behave like that, I'm like, okay, what's the function? Why is she behaving like that? Is something wrong with her? Let me analyze it. Let me see what's the possibility of her engaging in these things in order to make herself feel good. Is she trying to escape what's going on in her life? Does she want attention or does she want money? Like, what's the purpose? And when you think about an NPC, they don't have these functions of behaviors. They just go off basically what is programmed in their system. NPC doesn't, quote unquote, need anything to survive. Why would somebody who has no thought process, a purpose of understanding how to live, need attention? Why would they need to escape? Why would they need money? What even makes them feel good if they're not even able to elaborate on that? NPCs can't do that. Truth Riser said, I was looking at action figures of wrestlers on YouTube because I like wrestling, and I realized, like, dang, I know it's a toy, but they made them idols in a way for real, for real. Yeah. Drew Mills said, attention and tangible, if you ask me, that's most people's motivation these days. Hey, we really got to analyze why people behave the certain way that they do. Because in all essence, that's going back to, are their minds in a stable condition? And as I asked the question to everybody in the chat and everybody watching this on playback, are you an NPC? Because I'm starting to see the rise of a reprobate mind where they can't even tell you why they're behaving the way that they do. And let's talk about it, family. I got some scriptures. Of course, you know I do. We over here, I'm in the spirit, and over here on this channel, we like to be able to bring up scriptures to elaborate and give a biblical based insight, because many things that are happening in this day and time is because, hey, we lack what's supposed to be inside of us. And so I'm in the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 28. And even as they did not retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. What do you see right now in the world? As you look out, as you see people behaving in a way where, is it convenient? Is it something that creates a sense of peace? Is it something that you can teach to be able to further the expansion of life, further your experience? So let me continue. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So let's really take it back to the other people viewing this content. You're taking pleasure in someone who's doing something that's not convenient. What does that say about you? You're supporting someone financially and they're not doing anything convenient for you, for the people around them. They can't even speak. Their mind is reprobated, but you take pleasure in that. Where are you headed? What's your goal? Are you an NPC? Do you take pleasure in seeing other NPCs? But yeah, when we get there and when we talk about that, it seems to be many people that shy away from the conversation because not many people have the intellect to be able to build off of that construct. And I get it. Talking to a bunch of people that just watch 30-second bits and can't even have a conversation past 5 minutes because the words aren't given to them. So when you see people on YouTube, as far as creating content, really take heed on the creator side of if they are able to actually communicate to you versus share information versus regurgitate. Because at that point in time, you're just an NPC. You're just somebody that can be programmed without no real insight or intellect to be able to contrive a conversation or sentence on your own. Someone needs to whisper in your ear. You need to read something before you're able to talk about how you feel because you don't know how you feel. You need to you need somebody to tell you how you feel. So I'm just saying, family, be very aware because the wicked devices are at an all-time high. Ooh wee. I hear you, True Rises. I hear you. Man, at this point, as soon as I see something like that, I scroll right past, man. And then that's what even gets me into the energy fold of wanting to create more content because I'm like, all right, am I going to create a solution or am I just going to talk about the problem? No, I'm going to create a solution. I'm going to create content on my own. I'm going to create something where it has a conversation longer than 5 seconds that gets your attention span, that creates some type of intellectual observation. Because, man, it's getting real sick out here. The reprobate mind is starting to grow and attach itself to the youth. Big facts. You can't even reason with a reprobate mind. It's like talking to a wall. It's like talking to a wall, man. The soul and the spirit is not even there. For real, for real. And I have one more scripture I wanted to bring out, man, because we got to be guided out here. We got to be guarded out here. We got to know that the Most High, he gives us the mind to be able to move around what's going on. And so, with that being said, we got to be of service. We got to be able to listen to what not only the Most High needs from us, but from what our brothers and sisters need from us. If you are someone who has the talent to be able to speak, you gotta use that. Because let's keep it real, many people are babes out here. They don't know how to. And if there's not a model or a constructive saying that it's possible, they're just going to think that the trendy wave is what human interaction is, quote unquote human. But I'm over here in Ephesians chapter 6. I'm going to start from verse 8. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. And ye masters do the same things unto them, forbearing threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Amen. If you're not out here spreading the gospel, the good word, if you're not out here showing people what it means to operate within peace of your spirit, what are you a catalyst then? What are you perpetuating then? What are you a vessel for then? If you're not being someone who can show you how to operate peacefully in this world, what are you then? This is a question to the chat. Let me know. If you're not someone who's able to create content to be able to say, all right, here is how we should operate in this unfortunate situation, and with the right enough communication, we can come up with solutions. Here are the solutions. And as you can see me going through this trial or tribulation, this is how I'm behaving. If you're not the one showing the appropriate behaviors, what are you then? Spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. Truthfully, we got to be guarded out here. If you're not able to give someone peace in their spirit, and to say that you have many people out here who create content just to be able to rile up the emotions of others, it's like, man, what are you here for? But I'm going to keep on going on. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak, but that ye also may know my affairs and how I do. Titus, a beloved brother and faithful minister of the Lord, shall make known to you all things, whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs, and that he might comfort your hearts. Peace be to the brethren, and love with faith from God the Father and the Lord Christ. Grace be with you that love our Christ in sincerity. Amen. So family, check it out. Verse 22, whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose. What is the purpose of these individuals being sent to create this content, this NPC content? What are their affairs? Is it bringing forth comfort? Is there peace? Are they spreading the gospel? Is there any good news coming from someone repeating a catchphrase over and over and over and over again? And I just wanted to be, as transparent as possible as far as concerning this topic, because it's wicked. If someone can't tell you why they're doing something and what their purpose is, run away. Because obviously they don't know, and they're operating off of a system or a program that they're completely unaware of, and that can be very dangerous. If someone can't tell you why they're creating content or the purpose behind it, why are you consuming it? And then it really gets to the point where people just accept anything now. There's no discernment on even eating certain foods. There's no discernment on taking certain medicines. Because at the end of the day, the person that's giving it to you, they're not going to tell you their purpose behind giving it to you, because they don't even know why. They're just doing it because someone is telling them to do it. And I'm correlating the content to food because at the same time, this is something that you consume. This is something that's going into your body. This is something that's going into your mind. This is something that's going to affect how you operate, just like food. So say that you sit down at a restaurant and someone hands you a plate and it's some food on there, and you ask them, what is this? And they're just like, I don't know. And you just are like, okay. And then you tell them, how's this gonna make me feel? I don't know. And then you ask them again, well, why'd you make this? Oh, I don't know. Would you still eat that food? That's what a lot of people are doing right now. Consuming food from a chef who doesn't even have any clue what he's cooking up. And then you expect for people to operate, quote unquote, normally. Man, hit it right on the head, Truth Rises, to continue to capture souls, to keep people asleep, for real. But family, man, I didn't want to make this one too long, but I definitely wanted to spread my sentiments and be able to have a conversation beyond 30 seconds and to be able to bring forth some revelation to me as far as what I can improve in my life to shy away and be able to be more fulfilled at my purpose. Because not only am I talking to y'all family, I'm resonating within my spirit as well. And I believe majority of this conversation is for myself, and where I need to acknowledge my purpose and be able to be as transparent as possible with myself. Look in the mirror and say, why am I behaving this way? Why am I creating this content? Well, what is this gonna do? And when we really look in the mirror and to acknowledge that, you start to see a greater sense of yourself to be able to move and operate in a way that elevates you. You know, if y'all was able to vibe with me in the beginning, majority of the tracks that you know, that I create, they're pretty much upbeat. You know, it's me sharing my experience in life. It's me sharing my testimony of overcoming. Faith's all I need. I'm feeling so elevated. Can I stay the matter? And where the artwork is really a portrayal of me having a communication with the Most High to be able to comfort myself, to be able to bring forth a conversation in a way that I can express how I feel, where I can be able to tell you guys my purpose behind it, where I can be able to say my mind is stable right now, where I can't elaborate. So it really all goes into who you are, what you stand for, what's your goal. Let's be real. Many people can't communicate on that. You ask people what their goal is, you ask people what their purpose is. Many people cannot elaborate. But we set apart over here, family, and we moving in a way where, hey, only time will be able to tell. And at the end of the day, the real ones always make it through. You know, these NPCs, the people, these people who just operate off a system that obviously has no good in their mind, where they're going to go. Drew Mills said, consuming sickness instead of healing, for real. And thank you for that comment, Drew Mills, because I got another stream that I'm getting my thoughts together that, working in the industry of the health, mental health field, I see a lot of this where it's sickening and there's no remedy to heal besides to ignore the sickness. And so what that tells me right there is there's some deception going on within the health industry overall. And it needs to be talked about. It needs to have some solutions. It needs to be a boundary where there's some rules in place that regulates these people that are at the top. So communication has always been a tool where people can use to sharpen the sword to make things transpire in life. And that's what I use my platform for. Even if it is just 1, 2, 3 people watching versus 100,000. How many people do you connect with to be able to say, we have furthered our purpose in life and we understand what we're here to do? You could have 100,000 people alongside you, but if they don't understand the cause of what you're doing, how useful and effective will they be? Versus 3 people who understand the purpose, who are effective in what they're doing, and who have the mentality to be able to strive through because they know the end goal. You can have 5 people standing with you who understand the effectiveness in your message and communication and will be able to build a whole city versus 1,000 people who obviously complain and over here just saying catchphrases over and over and over again. If you guys get what I'm saying, you only need 5 bright people to change the world. Hey, much appreciations. Amen. Hey, let's keep our day started on the right way. Let's go. Marcus says, he said, no, I am not an NPC. Read the scriptures for myself, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding by really having to teach my 7-year-old son, showing my son the way that the Most High God leads our paths. Amen. For real. We got to stay guided out here. And shout out to my brother King Connect, blessing me with the verse on this track right here. As we go ahead and finish up this stream, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope it was edifying. I hope that everybody was able to understand, comprehend, and hey, we're gonna keep on growing on this end.
Set apart, we don't like to fit in. Set apart, trying to conquer our sin. Okay. Set apart, we don't like to fit in. Yeah, okay. Set apart, trying to conquer our sin. Yeah, we holy. Yeah, we holy. Yeah, we holy. Yeah, we holy. Yeah, we
Set apart, play a part, Noah's Ark, flood coming up, vengeance souls like Tony Stark. Marvel at the tree of life, carve wood while they bark. No bite, insight, my plight, gotta take flight. Get right or get left, direction, don't get cleft. Separated, perpetuated, the Most High keep you situated. Sin City, they simulated, righteous prayers be penetrated. Guide me from the temptation, big stepper, I'm him to hate it. Faith of armor is gold plated, holy grave is what is stated. Black Man, this who they slaved it. Our history, they tried to fade it. High price, yes, you will pay it. Pay tollways, but we paid it. My soul's lost, but y'all saved it from the furnace. I'm so elated. Yeah. Set apart. We don't like to fit in. You know that's right. Set apart. Trying to conquer our sin. You know that's right. Set apart. We don't like to fit in. That's right. Set apart. Trying to conquer our sin.
Yeah, we holy, holy, holy. 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 Yeah, we
set apart. We will conquer our sin. You know that's right. Set apart. At the end, we shall win. Okay. Yeah.
Daddy, we about to be rich, baby.
Yeah, they got it, Bobby.
Why buy the lie when the truth is free? Illusions creating distorted reality, manifesting heart's desires. Faith that anything is possible, probable. With God, I'm unstoppable. Can't deny denial. Life flowing through. Living is a test of subscription, a lifetime trial. Only faith, no fanatics. Pay attention to the antics. Peace over power, panic. Design planned in fashion. Peace.